Welcome to the 20th of March 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who feel stuck in a 9-to-5 job, or maybe it's a business they own that feels like a job. I help those people that are ready to be able to get out of that situation and want to get out of it and start building an online business around something they're passionate about that will give them more freedom in their life when they share their knowledge and experience with other people and get paid doing it. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is a pretty fundamental thing in the online space. I think it applies to a lot, whether it's online or offline, but particularly focused in the online space, which is where I am today. Had a call earlier today with one of my advanced clients, and it always kind of brings me back to understanding some of the basics that we really need to get bedded in to make it really simple, the online space. I think a lot of people make this a very complicated thing when it doesn't have to be, and it's about actually getting some of the basics right. And one of those basics is just knowing what you do and being able to articulate it in a way that's clear and is simple. I always say you need to be able to explain it to a 7-year-old child. I always think of my daughter, Kimberly, when she was 7, how I would explain things to her in a very simple and clear way. We need to do that exactly the same when we're talking about what it is our thing is. What do we do in the online space? And I remember a very famous American physicist who in 1965 won the Nobel Prize for Physics. His name was Richard Freynman. And he had this very important quote that I always remember. And it's something like this. I'll kind of try and memorize it, but it is, if you cannot explain something in simple terms, then you don't understand it. If you cannot explain something in simple terms, then you don't understand it. Now, he was a physicist, teaching, experimenting, physics. And such an important thing to say, isn't it? If you can, let me just say that once more. If you cannot explain something in very simple terms, then you don't understand it. And I think certainly in the online space, so many people make things more complicated than they should be. And a lot of it has to do is because it's very gray what they actually do. It's kind of, in their mind, they might understand it, but in articulating it and communicating it to people and their audience in particular, it just doesn't resonate because they're not clear. So I want to give you a 3-step formula today that will help you make it really clear what it is you do. Follow this 3-step formula, and I know that it'll help you make things really, really simple. Number 1, the first step is I help. Who do you help? Be super clear about who you help. And particularly in the online space where today there's 4.9 billion people online. And if you're in a platform like LinkedIn, there's 1 billion people. If you're making your I help very generic, I help men, I help women, that's very, very, very broad. You need to dial in to specifically who you help. So using my example, I help people who are stuck in a 9-to-5 job or in a business they own that feels like a job. But here's the operative word, because it's so important to the people I work with, who are ready to be wanting to have more freedom in their life and doing something that they really enjoy online. Ready is the operative word, because most people are stuck in a 9-to-5 job. We know that today. Most people are stuck in a business they own that feels like a job. But that's, for me as an audience, that's way too big. There's hundreds of millions of people. But in my messaging about who I help, it's the people who are ready. That's the operative word. So you need to dial in who you help and be specific about who you help. Not very generic, very big, be specific. Number 2, the second step is, what do you help them do? What do you help them do? What is it you specifically help them do? Be really clear about that. I help people to monetize their knowledge and experience that they've already got on a passion that they really enjoy doing online and monetizing it. What do you help them do? Think about it. What do you help people do specific? And then the third step of my 3-step formula is so that. What's the benefit? What's the result? What's the outcome? What's the transformation you get? And again, this is an area that people are not clear in the online space. They say, these big gray woolly things that are going to help them do certain things. You need to be super clear about what it is you help people do, the benefit, and be super clear, because that's what people want from you. They want a result, they want transformation, they want to get to the next level, and you need to be able to clearly identify what that next level is. So that 3-step formula, to keep things simple and clear, that you would be able to explain it to a 7-year-old kid, because if you don't, you don't understand it. And that is, number 1, I help. Who do you help? 2, do. What do you help them do? Number 3, the benefit. So that. What is the result, the outcome, the transformation that you get them? Apply that 3-step formula to anything that you do. You will get more clear. You will get more simple in what you do. And most importantly, the people who want to follow you and want to be part of your ecosystem or your online space or wherever it is will clearly understand what it is you do, how you can help them. So apply that to whatever it is you do. I help, to do, so that. Then you'll get that clarity that I know a lot of people really struggle with today. So don't be one of those people. If you need to know more about what I do, my website is jimmybradbury.com. That's JIMMI, Bradbury.com. If you're on LinkedIn and you haven't optimized your profile, then there's a free download below here. In the comments, 1 page, 11 things. You need to make sure that you've optimized your profile correctly, because it's the foundation of succeeding on LinkedIn. I'll put that link below in the comments. All you need to do is download it for free, and then you will know how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Wherever you are in the world today, have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.